Game Week 33 team selection. We're going to look at some of my transfers going forward, captaincy information, injury information, as well as expected minutes. So if you like the sound of that, let's jump straight into things. Just a quick message before this video starts. I've just hit 100 subscribers on this channel, and I just want to take this small little bit of time out the video to say a massive thank you to everyone who watches and supports my content. I'm only in my first season of FPL and football content, and I'm really enjoying it. This is going to be a good project to have over the next few seasons and years to come. So if you want to be a part of the ride, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Right, and here we are with the goalkeeper and defenders. So again, we are in the position where our second goalkeeper just isn't fit, so we have to play Dubravka. But one of my potential transfers this week could be Areola out and someone like Kelleher to come in. Around that price point, probably going to play this week, next week, and maybe a few weeks to come, but that doesn't really matter too much, especially with the fact I am wildcarding in 35. So Kelleher is really an attractive transfer for me this week, and since I have 2 free transfers, I at least need to use one of those to be effective in the next coming week. So that is one of the transfer options straight away off the bat. In terms of defence this week, I am massively changing things up. I've got Gabriel, Estupinian and Gusto. Now, Zabani and Pedro Porro are on the bench. Pedro Porro, you could make a strong argument that he should be starting in my team, and it very well might happen where Pedro Porro comes in and Estupinian would then drop to the bench. In my eyes, though, Gusto, having that illness, he's probably more than likely going to come back into that Chelsea side to try and strengthen that defence. A very embarrassing 2-2 draw with Sheffield United. I think he's going to be really welcomed back into that first 11. We then look at Estupinian. It's a big issue of minutes with Estupinian, and I'm not sure he's going to get them, but the fixture is there. Burnley away from home. I think when you think of a Brighton fixture that they're most likely going to get a clean sheet in, this is probably that type of fixture. So that is why the temptation of playing him comes into play. But the more I think about it, the more I want to play Pedro Porro. He's on a lot of corners, but he has started doing this thing where he plays a lot of corners short. He plays either into Madison or somebody else right next to him and then builds up play from there. So is he really that much of a good asset now? And especially with a Newcastle away fixture, I'm not too sure. So that's why he's on the bench at the moment. Zabani with Manchester United at home could also be a shout that he should be starting in that team. He doesn't necessarily have the attacking potential that a Pedro Porro has, so I don't think there's much of a strong argument there, but the argument would kind of come from Man United not being a great attack, but they actually kind of are an okay attack, and I feel as though they're going to score in that game. So yeah, Zabani will join the bench for me on that one. Gabriel with the Aston Villa at home fixture. I mean, we've seen it week in, week out now. Gabriel has an amazing attacking potential, but he plays in the best defence in the league in Arsenal, so he has to absolutely start for me. But other than that, I'm really happy with my goalkeeper and defenders. Now, moving into the midfield, things get a little bit interesting. We have Foden, who was actually flagged in the FPL app. It was a small issue towards the end of his last fixture, so I'm not necessarily worried too much, especially when Guardiola said it is just a small knock. I will be playing him in the starting 11 unless we get some information. Otherwise, then probably most likely Gordon would come on for him off the bench. But that Luton at home fixture, I think there's going to be a lot of rotation in the City side, so fingers crossed we get a little bit more information towards that fixture coming up very soon on Saturday, I believe. But yeah, Foden will be playing in my starting 11 if he is fit. Palmer, Again, this man is Mr. Consistent. It seems he just gets points out of nothing. Really happy to have owned him for such a long time. It seems like everyone has got him at this point now, so I'm not really too bothered about what he does because literally everybody has him. But the Everton home fixture is a nice fixture in a way. I'm hoping that he gets some form of return again. But yeah, Everton at home, we'll see how that goes, especially with how they played against Sheffield United. It wasn't too great. Salah at home to Crystal Palace. Is there going to be rotation in the Liverpool side? I guess we'll have to find out from tonight's fixture where they play in Europa League. But at the moment, we actually just don't know too much else about who's going to play in what formation for Liverpool tonight. If I had to guess, I would say Salah would probably play around 60 minutes, get the game done, and then come off. But it's never that easy, so we'll see what happens. But another interesting thing to talk about is Saka and Arsenal's real congestion of fixtures coming up. Is he going to last 90 minutes every single game? I just don't think that's realistic whatsoever. I think he's needed more within the bigger games, and Aston Villa at home is a big game, and I do believe he will start, but I don't think he's going to get a full 90 minutes. And when you look at their fixture congestion coming up, you can kind of understand that they will need to manage Saka probably more than other players simply because he had an injury before. But overall, the midfield is looking quite good. I think if I understand and know that Salah is going to get a lot of minutes against Palace, it will be really attractive to captain him. But let's move on to the forwards and talk about that later. Now, with the forwards, I think we can only really start by talking about one man in particular, and that is Erling Haaland. Now, it has been, I would say, somewhat disappointing to own him over the last few weeks. I feel as though that points are to come for Erling Haaland, goals are to come for Erling Haaland, and I can really understand that and say that because he is probably one of the best goal scorers in world football right now, playing in one of the best teams in the world right now. So when you look at his fixture of Luton at home and understand that he's probably going to get quite a lot of minutes, yes, it's going to be a rotated City side, but to get his confidence back, to get him moving again, I think he's going to get quite a lot of minutes in this game. And I can really see him going and scoring maybe one or two in that match. So it's more than likely Erling Haaland gains my captaincy for FPL Game Week 33. But let me know, what do you guys think? Is Haaland going to be playing in that match? Is he going to be rested? Or is he going to be playing and scoring lots of goals? Let me know what you think in the comments. But let's move along and see Dominic Solanke now. Again, a somewhat disappointing player at the moment. His fixtures haven't been amazing. Man United at home, is it a Dominic Solanke fixture? Can he go and score in that match? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to? I am not overly positive that he will, but there is some hope there that Dominic Solanke does well in that game. Darwin Núñez, Crystal Palace at home. Darwin Núñez, it's difficult to understand what you're going to get with him. I think the numbers kind of speak for him, not necessarily the way he's playing. Sometimes he does an absolutely excellent move and you can really say, wow, I'm so glad to own him in FPL. And other times he is an absolute donkey and just misses an open chance or makes a ball that is just completely just nowhere near a play and you're like, right, why have I got this man? But you look at the numbers, you understand his goal and assist ratio in the league to games, and you can see why people have him in FPL. Just to not make this video too long, I want to quickly talk about captaincy. Like I say, Haaland is more than likely going to get the captaincy armband off myself. You've got big contenders such as Salah sitting right there, and possibly a Phil Foden. It's a great fixture for City, but I feel as though Foden is going to be rested in the future and probably this week. So, yeah. Overall, with the squad, I'm really happy. The transfer is more than likely going to be Areola out and someone like Kelleher to come in around that price point. But yeah, overall, super happy with the team. just to wrap up today's video, I'm super happy with how my squad's doing. Hopefully in the weeks to come, when we activate wildcard and other chips, we really get pushed along the rank. Hopefully you are doing well in FPL. If you have any questions whatsoever, drop them in the comment section. I reply to every single comment on every single one of my platforms. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.